Howdy, everybody. Richard Zane and Ryan Brauninger. Welcome into a excited, happy, rapid reaction as the fighting Texas Aggies eliminate their arch rival, the Texas Longhorns, in an elimination game in the Men's College World Series. A&M taking down Texas 10-2. This rapid reaction brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Academy Sports and Outdoors is a proud sponsor of Texas Ags and Texas A&M Athletics. Shopping at Academy is more convenient than ever. They offer free assembly on in-store purchases of most bikes and grills, plus free and easy curbside pickup on academy.com orders. And Brawny, let's go ahead and start with the 11-pitch at-bat. Trevor Warner, tie game, 2-2. 11th pitch, he lines it into left center field for a 2-run single to give A&M the lead. They never relinquish that advantage.
Well, yeah, it's a microcosm of A&M season. That's how all their at-bats have gone all year. From hitter 1 through hitter 9, as interchangeable as they've been, as much of the parts may have moved early on in the year, that's who they've been, especially when you start going and looking back at that weekend in Baton Rouge, the midweek in Austin against Texas, where this team really started to turn a corner and become who they are today. That at-bat by Trevor Warner was a microcosm of what we've seen all year. An incredible at-bat. It's an incredible performance, an incredible team performance. And we got to say, that might be the most important win in program history. I didn't know if it was the most important game in program history, but I think that win might be the most important win in Texas A&M baseball's history. When you look at 1993, we know A&M hadn't won here since 1993. So not only did you do that, you sent the Longhorns back to Austin in the process. Just an enormous day for this Texas A&M baseball program and Jim Schlossnagle.
I mean, I can't even begin to think about what it means for recruiting implications when you realize that this is Jim Schlossnagle's first year, and that's a program he's going to be going head-to-head with for recruiting for guys up and down lineups.
Yeah,
man.
I mean, it's baseball recruiting's done so far out, right? Like a lot of the 24 classes already committed. They're really working on 25s already. It's crazy how far out that it's done. But you're recruiting again out of the transfer portal. So, how often these games are watched across the country by not only kids in high school, but kids in college that are in the portal they're looking for places to go that A&M's in on. So, I mean, there's a lot of implications for this game today. But, I mean, the credit's got to go to, obviously, we talked about Jim Schlossnagle, but those kids, man, like Micah Dallas, been a different guy in the postseason. He was fantastic today, and he handed the ball to Jacob Palish, and what was it, 5 strikeouts and 2 1/3?
2 2/3.
2 2/3. Enormous one with an 8-2 game, bases loaded, 2 outs. I felt he kind of got squeezed on Mitchell Daly in the hitter before. Here comes Ivan Melendez, likely Golden Spikes winner, 33 home runs. He set a Texas record for home runs. It's an 8-2 game. Here he comes with the bases loaded and 2 outs, and Jacob Palish punched him out on you can't throw the ball any better than that. You cannot throw a glove side fastball into a righty if you're a left-hander better than what Jacob Palish did to punch out Melendez. And I said when that happened, in my mind, I'm going, that's the game. Texas will cash it in, and they did. Like, A&M cruised defensively through those final couple of innings because it felt like that was all the wind going out of the Longhorn sails.
And really holding down Ivan Melendez the entire day was a huge part of the game. Obviously, we do need to go into the start that Micah Dallas had and then the rest of the outing that Jacob Palish had. But Melendez, you mentioned it. He's going to be the Golden Spikes Award winner, most likely. He's already the Dick Hauser Award winner. 0 for 4. 2 strikeouts, only reached base once because he was hit by a pitch.
Well, and he left the bases loaded, and he came up with a first and third opportunity in the first inning and didn't get an extra base hit. And really, A&M's ability to escape that first inning after a first and third no-out situation, very similar to what happened against Oklahoma. A&M escaped only giving one run. They give up a single run in the second, and then nothing from then on out. Micah Dallas was fantastic. The defense left a little bit to be desired, both in the PFP department, but also we saw a miscommunication in right center field with Jordan Thompson and Brett Minnick. We saw, kind of an unlucky play at second base on a steal where Troy Clonch makes a great throw, and then the slide takes off Ryan Targach's glove. But then, Targach unable to get a clean transfer to turn a double play. So A&M can play better defensively, but it's never about just one thing with this team, man. It's the sum of the parts. That's what it was today. Like, when I'm looking up and down these rosters and I'm looking up and down those lineup cards, I'm looking at pro prospects, right? If I'm a professional scout and I'm looking at pro prospects, guess which team has more pro prospects?
I'm guessing the Texas Longhorns.
Texas has more talent. A&M has way more toughness, way more. And they've got just a bunch of old heads that have 500, 600 college at-bats, some even more like Dylan Rock, and they just know how to grind you out and wear you out. And, we talked about Trevor Warner's AB. I thought Troy Clonch had a great AB early on a full count. with Ryan Targach running that set them up for a first and third situation. Jordan Thompson's been a complete revelation for this team since his insertion and mainstay in the lineup. So pick who you want, man. You know, Brett Minnick had a great swing on a two-strike double off the opposite field wall in the second inning, and that 4-run second inning. So, like, you can go position by position, player by player, and really pick out something they did to help the team win today. And that's the way it's been all year.
I mean, we talk about Trevor Warner's at bat. I believe he finished 1 for 5. I believe Jack Moss finished 1 for 5 as well. But they both drove in runs, and crucial runs at that.
Yeah, and Dylan Rock didn't have a hit either. So your top three in the order went, 2 for 11, 2 for 12, somewhere in that range. Now, Austin Bose has been great. Targach,
2 doubles today.
Targach is he's been pretty productive. There's more power in there, but ballpark's not going to play to power this week, man. You hit the ball to center field, between the gaps, you're out. The ball is not going anywhere from gap to gap. You're going to have to get it down the line. But for your 1 through 3 to not get a bunch of hits and you score 10 runs against that pitching staff and that team, it just says a lot about who you are and how you work pitches and how you work at bats and working walks, man. It felt like it was a lot of full count wins for A&M today offensively. And it's what we've seen all year, and then they turned it into big numbers. Well, actually, they only turned it into one big number. Then they picket fenced it pretty much every other inning, but they never let Texas come up for air. It was like death by 1,000 paper cuts, and Texas couldn't do anything to stop it.
I want to say they scored 4 in the second, 1 in the third, 1 in the fourth, 2 in the fifth, and then 1 in the sixth, and then obviously 1 in the eighth on Austin Bose.
Brilliant
2-out RBI double.
Well, you had a brilliant double steal call by Jim Schlossnagle to score one of those runs.
I believe that was in the 7th.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. It was a great call. It was a perfect time to do it. Texas had gone out there to talk about what they're going to do defensively if A&M does try to double steal. Jim Schlossnagle waited for that meeting to kind of wear off. 4 or 5 pitches later, then he goes. It's just brilliant coaching. It's having just an innate feel for the game that is unrivaled by a lot of people in college baseball. But Bose double was after Dylan Rock hit by pitch. Then Texas, for some reason, doesn't hold Dylan Rock on, and they let him steal second. Like, I don't know. It goes back to what I said about Ivan Melendez strikeout being the thing that really took the wind out of their sails. It felt like they were kind of done competing after that.
Well, also the error by the third baseman that Melendez ended up booting into the dugout, that felt like a huge moment in the game that also took the wind out of the sails.
Yeah, but it was early on, right? And I felt like Texas had another run in them, and they got the guy at the plate with the bases loaded that they wanted. That was the ideal situation for them to get back in the game. And Jacob Palish executed pitches against the best hitter in college baseball. That was the nail in the coffin, right? A&M paper cut them, and then the dagger through the throat was this punch out of Melendez.
So, I mean, I don't really know what else to talk. Did we cover it all, Bronny? Because, my head is still spinning.
We could sit here and talk about it for a long time. But, like I said, biggest win in program history. But now you've got to flush it because in 2 days you're playing another one. And every time that you win a game, the wins keep getting bigger because you're getting closer to a national championship.
Yep.
This team that was picked last or 13th in the SEC is now going to be one of the final 6 teams, at least, final 6 teams playing in college baseball this year. I mean, what an incredible story, what an incredible team, what an incredible year. And these kids, when they're coming off the field and they're coming into the tunnel and we're walking by them, they're like, shouldn't have let us win one. Because now they feel like they're going to win another one. So they win weekends. They lost the first one. Stands to reason if they keep winning weekends, they got another win in them. So their season's on the line. I don't know who's going to get the ball, but we'll see what happens, man. I don't put anything past this team.
You mentioned them saying that, don't let us win one, right? That seems very similar. I'm going to keep going back to it. That 2004 Red Sox team, don't let us win one. That has this kind of feel. It really does.
Well, they're going to have to get, like a bloody sock type of performance if they're going to do something crazy like the Red Sox did that year. And those Red Sox pieces, they're a professional baseball team. They're a little bit deeper, more complete. But the belief, I get what you're saying. The belief with this team, what they can do as a collective, what they can do as a whole is greater than the individual parts, and they know that. So there's no doubting in their minds what they can do as a group. And every time that they get to go play together, they really enjoy it, and they don't want to stop playing together. It's not that the season's going to be over. It's that Dylan Rock and Troy Claunch won't get to play with each other anymore. Cole Kaler and Austin Bose won't get to play with each other anymore, and that's what they're playing for.
So we know that A&M's playing again. We know when it will be. We don't know yet who it will be. It'll be a 1 o'clock game on Tuesday afternoon versus the loser of tonight's game between Notre Dame and Oklahoma. Obviously, the Aggies have seen the Sooners once this weekend, falling to them 13-8 on Friday afternoon. Haven't seen Notre Dame yet. Early on, instant reaction. Who would you rather see on
I don't know,
Tuesday?
man. Like it's all about how A&M's going to approach the game, right? Like, they played Oklahoma the other day. What happens if A&M doesn't put Oklahoma on base 19 times?
Yep.
It's a way different story, right? So I don't really know how you can judge who you'd rather want to play. They're both really, really good.
Not going to see Jake Bennett.
Right, but it's still like Oklahoma's very deep. They won the Big 12 tournament when Jake Bennett didn't pitch every game. So, Notre Dame is as hot as anybody in the country. They knock off Tennessee. They come in here. They knock off Texas, and they're riding highs just as anybody. So, it's going to be a dogfight, man. They're final 6 teams playing.
Yep.
So we'll see what happens. But again, man, with this team, you never count them out, and you don't ever doubt them anymore.
Brawny, anything else?
That's it, man.
Aggies take down the Longhorns 10-2 on Sunday afternoon, and we'll be back in action on
put
Tuesday.
A little pep in your step.
Dude, my mind is spinning. I'm so happy. I tweeted it out. I'm so happy I could cry, but I'm trying to hold it together because we got more work to do.
Yeah, keep yourself together.
Yeah, okay, I'll keep myself together. For Brian Brauninger, I'm Richard Zane. Thanks for tuning into this Rapid Reaction, and our thanks to Academy Sports and Outdoors for sponsoring us. A&M will be playing another game Tuesday afternoon. We'll see you then.